I need you frightened. I need you hopeless.
Welcome back to the chaos. We are the Reflections of Horror podcast. We are a horror movie podcast for the girls, gays, and non-binary baes. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Kale, and this is part 3 of our Purge series, and we'll be covering the Purge Election Year. So this is one of my favorites. I think it's probably tied, maybe like ranked a little tiny bit higher than the first Purge. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about it.
I'm excited for you to talk about it.
Yeah, I have so many notes, guys. It's actually absurd.
I
think
like
these are the longest notes I've taken for the whole series.
I feel like we're each going to have our moment because I have confirmed that the first Purge is my favorite, and I have some things I need to talk about. So this is going to be good.
Yeah, I have plenty of rants for that one too. Don't you worry.
All right. Well, shall we dive in?
Yeah, let's get into it.
So we open up on an iPod, which I love.
Yeah.
Because iPods are making a comeback currently. Because
are they?
Spotify is going to start doing ID checks, and YouTube is doing
ID checks.
So I'm on the side of TikTok where we're doing Walkmans. We're going back to the OG iPods. You can't have the AirPods anymore because they're scanning your brain. We're going back to this time.
What?
Yeah. I'll fill you in off mic.
Jesus.
So we're close on an iPod, and it's playing 20th Century Boy, which I'm like, okay, cutie, okay, a little play there.
Yeah.
And then it switches to Give Up the Funk.
Yeah.
And then we see this iPod is playing for a family that's tied up.
Yeah, tied up, bloody, obviously terrified.
Oh, man. And then you've just got this really freaky guy in a mask explaining that this is his Purge playlist.
Which, like, the concept of a Purge playlist does kind of rock. Like, this is the problem I have with some things in this movie, because, like, or in this series, is that, like, part of me wants to ask, like, yeah, what would my Purge playlist be? And what would my little Purge outfit be? And then I'm like, that's not the point of the movie. You're not supposed to be thinking about that. For the movie, you're supposed to be thinking about bigger things and how this is bad. But also, the concept of a Purge playlist is really cool.
Well, I think it's because we have 5 movies, you have the TV show, this becomes this universe.
Oh, yeah,
right?
sure.
So you're getting sucked into this universe, and you start to think, if this was my reality and I was stuck in a world that had the Purge,
what would it be?
It's like, what would I choose? Would I have a year where I went out and participated in the Purge? You just don't know. So you just start to think about those things.
Yeah,
just to make you feel like you're not a bad person.
Thanks.
So, so it's a family, 2 kids, husband, wife, and then we find out that this wife is our primary senator for this election year.
It's not the wife. It is so we'll roll it back a little bit. The freaky Purge guy is like, we're going to play a game called Mommy's Choice, and Mommy is going to pick who survives the Purge, and it zooms in not on the wife, but on, like, the teenage girl. So I gathered that the mom picked the teenage daughter to survive. I don't think it was the mom.
Well, the movie takes place 18 years later.
Yeah.
So do we think this senator is early 30s?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I don't think it's mom, because the teenage girl that it zooms in on has the glasses that Charlie Rowan, our senator, has.
Oh, media literacy.
Yeah.
Boot me out of the fucking podcast. Jesus Christ.
No,
I'm the editor though, so this just might get cut.
Sorry.
So the daughter survives.
Yeah, I think the daughter is chosen to survive. And, like, the idea of this, like, Purge game was really interesting to me, because it's like, if I were a mother, who would I just choose to survive? And then I'm like, would I choose anyone to survive? Because, like, whoever is surviving is going to live with, like, a monster load of, like, trauma. And do I really want them to have to deal with that? I don't know.
I'm probably not playing the game.
Yeah.
I'm not playing the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what are they going to do? Kill you? They're going to kill you anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. So we're 18 years later, 2 days before the Purge, and we are getting a news report that Dante Bishop, labeled Purge detractor, who this is our Bloody Stranger.
Bloody Stranger finally has a name.
Yeah, he's
It
Dante.
only took 3 movies, but he finally has a name. Good for him.
And he's on the news, basically talking about the economic impact of the Purge being used for the government benefit. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, duh. So, and then from there, we cut to, I just said a room of old white men, because that's all it is. It's a room of old white men. I think there might be one woman at the table, just sitting. I'm
pretty sure it's all white men.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said notably a room full of white men.
So, I only say there might be one woman because not to skip to the very end with spoilers, but at the very end when they're trying to kill her on stage, there is a single woman in that group.
Oh,
and
that's
I was
true.
like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, and then basically this old man is just panicking about how close Senator Rowan is to potentially being elected, and talks about how this year's purge might need to be used for some, quote, spring cleaning.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I think that just this character, I labeled him as head white man in charge, and like a quote that I wrote down that he said is like, they want the impossible everyone to have, some cannot have, not enough to go around. And he's like very like foul mouthed and gross, and I'm like, well, this makes me think of a certain someone.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I just think that like mentality that those, like that group of people has of like, there's not enough to go around when, you know, arguably all these people have multiple houses, multiple cars, blah, 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 yeah. Right? And just, you know, how real that is. Yeah. And how that's like a moment that we're at directly right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally. Then we cut from this group of old white men into a government debate happening. So it is Senator Rowan versus, I think he's called the Preacher, right? The other candidate she's debating against.
Something like that. I did not write his name down. I did not care.
Yeah. And there is discussion of a midnight purge mass, which I'm like, oh,
like, that's
Lord. Crazy. So it's just kind of this back and forth. That's really the main nugget you need to take from that. And then we see our man Leo from
Frank Grillo.
Yep, Frank Grillo is back, and he is part of the security detail for Senator Rowan.
Yes.
And yeah, it's basically her just trying to get down off the stage and talk to people, and we kind of see what type of candidate she's trying to be.
Yeah,
and he
real
is
people's candidate.
He is clearly like, I wish she wouldn't fucking do this. Yeah. This complicates my security. Follow her, keep her safe type of thing.
Yes. I think it's also interesting because when she's debating with Preacher Boy, Preacher Man, she is like talking about how like, you know, obviously it's more low income people killed during the purge. Yeah. And yeah, you're really getting kind of more into like more explicitly into the politics around the purge in this one, I think. And then talking about how money generated from the purge lines like the NRA pockets and then also insurance companies, and to both of those things I said real, like so absolutely real. Like that would be the entire structure of the economy, I think, at that point.
Well, and like we were saying in our earlier episodes, like this franchise definitely builds as you go, so like that's why this one and the next one there's so much to talk about, because you have started to address so many other real world facets that would happen in this universe.
Absolutely. And then I think also just like one note on like just to really hone in on like the cognitive dissonance of the NFFA is that they're like the preacher guy is like, I'm going to look up his name because
I think they call him the Preacher.
The Preacher. Okay. Well, he was talking about how like the purge is necessary because America was built on sacrifice, and I'm like, not really. It was built on genocide, which I guess could be argued as people sacrificing other people. But it's just like that, again, is just like, there's so many little details that go through just the mentality and stuff of these two different parties that I think is really interesting, because they really kind of did their research on like how these parties would act.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we jump to, I labeled it like our next timeline. Like I've talked a lot about how he'll do 3 timelines simultaneously. So our next group of characters we meet is in Joe's Deli, and It is a group of, I'll say a group of black individuals, because at first I thought Joe and the woman were family, but they're not family by blood, but they act like they're family.
Yeah.
So they're discussing Senator Rowan. Some are in support of her, some maybe not. And it's Joe, the owner, a young man that works for him, a woman we're going to get more details about, and then, like, one of the regulars, I'll say. I didn't even know his name, but he's like, you can just tell by the way he's talking that he's a regular that's there all the time.
Yes.
And then we get a little pop-up telling us it's March 20th, one day before the Purge. And we get a news report saying the rule that protects government officials has been revoked.
Yeah, because there is, like, a lot of driving support, it seems, for Roan. And, like, it's making the NFFA nervous. So they're like, we believe in fairness. We're gonna... Everybody is eligible for the Purge now, which is, like, so scummy.
All I have to say is, if I saw that, I'd be like, oh,
yeah,
they're going at this. And
Yeah.
I think especially if you were in support of her, I'd be like, oh, they're absolutely trying to kill her. I would immediately clock that as a bystander.
Yes. Oh, wait, okay, so it's a minister, not a preacher.
Oh.
And his name is Edwidge Owens.
Christ.
Edwidge?
What a name.
What a name.
He looks like an Edwidge.
I've never heard that name in my entire life.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're just watching this news report, and then Leo is talking about wanting to take her to a safe house, to which she's like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm not being that person.
The optics don't look great. But, like...
Optics also aren't going to be great if you're dead.
Yeah, exactly. And then also, like, we'll see later, but, like, the house that she's determined to stay in is very nice still. All of her security detail probably is pretty expensive. So I just feel like it's just, like, posturing a little bit. And, like, for, like, she's just... Her whole purpose, it feels like, through most of this movie is just to make Leo's job harder, which I just feel bad for him.
Because that's immediately where that conversation goes, is Leo's like, ma'am, we have to take you to a safe house. And she's like, this isn't a discussion, we're staying here. And then he kind of, like, gives the deep... disgruntled sigh he always gives us.
Yes.
And then just starts to explain about how they have to lock her house down then.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to our alternate timeline. I'm going to call it the Joe's Deli timeline.
Yeah.
Because at some point those characters kind of split up too, but it's still the Joe's Deli crew.
Yeah.
The woman is walking home, which I noted this scene... The way it is blocked out when she is walking home, it is very similar to the waitress in the last movie.
Yeah,
no. I was like giving very similar vibes.
Yeah,
here.
that's a very good point.
And then we get our first little jump scare of like a shopkeeper like jumping out and being like, "Purge masks are half price." I'm like, Jesus Christ, here we go
He's
again.
like kind of tweaking out a little bit. And then he goes, "Purge is Halloween for adults," and I'm like, that's.
Don't give Halloween a bad name.
Yeah, and like Halloween can still also be for adults, so like calm down. It's fine. We also get a little like news clip talking about the murder tourists. So these are people from like European countries who just like pop by America on Purge night to like participate in the Purge, and I thought that was so interesting too, because that's a whole other industry. You could get into like Purge, like the tourist agencies, right? Taking little purgers on little tours to like different neighborhoods where they could find people and kill them. Like that's crazy.
Which actually, I think they touch on that in the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think. I'm really tripping out. But I remember there's like a scene where a woman's like, what happens if we need to come back early? Because like she doesn't want to go, but all of her girlfriends want to go. Yeah.
What a crazy fucking girls trip. What?
let's bachelorette on Purge night, I guess.
Yeah,
but
literally.
But yeah, so this news reporter is at the airport and he's like, some of like the comments from the people he like interviews, he's like, "We want to live like Americans." And I'm like, oh god, that would be how it would go.
Yeah, exactly. So we're back in Joe's Deli, and like Joe's kind of talking to another regular about like staying safe, and she's like really horrified. She's like, "What's happening?" to this country, and I had like a kind of like probably a too deep a thought of like
Never too deep.
yeah, about like the timeline, because I'm kind of obsessed with the timeline of this whole universe, right? And it's so at this point it's been 25 years since the implementation of the Purge.
Okay.
And I just think it's really interesting that people are still like horrified by it. Like they should be, right? They should be still horrified by it. But it's like what's happened to our country? Like you probably had those questions like a decade ago.
Yeah.
At this point, it's probably like so normalized.
That's
because
such a good point.
yeah, because I was also just thinking of like making the comparison to like the phenomenon that we have now of like school shootings, right?
Yeah.
It's been it's been 26 years since Columbine, like this year.
Yeah.
Just for reference. And like this year, there have been 33 school shootings. There's been 15 people dead, 43 people injured, according to like CNN and stuff. And I didn't even know that until I looked it up when I had this thought when I was watching it, because I haven't heard about it, right? Because like the media doesn't even cover it anymore unless it's really, really bad, because it is so normalized. It's just something that we totally accept. So I think like conceptually in the universe, it would make more sense for that just to be kind of a little bit more normalized than I guess it is. Like obviously now we're like, oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
But like we know how we got here, you know? We're not asking the same questions that we asked maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think it also, though, speaks to the morality of it, right? Is because, like, the government is just preaching and bashing the fact that, like, we need this. But I think keeping people so, like, appalled by it, I think points out the fact that, like...
It's really bad.
Like, I think it's different because I think now we live in this universe, and like you were saying, it kind of comes to media coverage. But like this is in your neighborhood. Like you're not. It's one time a year you will face this, and you will drive to work the next day and see dead bodies in the street in front of the coffee shop you grab coffee.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it would be the same experience because of that.
But I think it is also still true because maybe less true now for me since I'm not in school, but I think it's a reality that a lot of high schoolers have to live with every day. I mean, I had a friend who was a teacher and had PTSD from the live shooter drills that the school would run, where they were firing like blanks and stuff. Yeah. And just that.
Also, the fact they come in and fire blanks is insane.
It is insane. It is completely insane. And then just like this
just
market. Yeah, this market for like like bulletproof backpacks. And there was this whole, I'm going on a huge tangent here, but there was this whole like controversy, right, of this teacher who had like the right was super mad at this teacher who had like a litter box in the school, because they're like, oh, you're just letting kids pretend to be cats now, like, right? It was like veiled transphobia or something like that. And the reality of that instance, which did actually happen, was that she had a litter box in the classroom in case they had to lock down when there was a shooter so they could go to the bathroom. So, like, it is, like, a reality that people live every day, but, like, for the rest of us, it is just, like, so normalized.
Also, just to add to this rant, I saw a clip from there is a business I believe they're based in Texas, who are trying to develop drones that can be deployed during a school shooting, and they will basically be the first wave through the door to try to shoot the suspect, and then cops will come in after.
Yeah, that's wild. Or those little robot dogs that everybody was like, oh, look at those robot dogs, they're so cute. Like, no, they're gonna mount guns to that and send them in the streets. Like, don't trust robots, guys.
I'm so happy that we're doing this franchise, because it's just so perfect.
It is.
But yes.
Anyway, back to the timeline.
Yes.
Back to the movie.
So basically they're in Joe's Deli, everyone's hanging out, and then basically they clock on the cameras that there are two, like, school-age girls trying to steal candy, like, around, down one of the aisles, and Joe is basically like, motherfucker, and, like, goes to, like, quote, handle it, and the girls get a little lippy with him, and then the woman goes over, who we discover is Lainey Rucker, and there's, like, a mystique to her, because the girls are like... That's Lainey Rucker, Little Death.
OG Queen Badass.
Yeah. So now you're like, what was Lainey into? Like,
Yeah.
what's her story? So basically, she gets them to give the candy back. And then Joe makes the comment about how back in Lainey's day, she was more respectful when she was in here trying to shoplift, which I thought that was like cute.
That was
but,
very funny.
I will make a comment about I forget what her Purge costume is, but basically the main one of the two schoolgirls.
The main crazy girl.
I think she's incredible.
Oh my god, she's so fun.
And I looked up her IMDb. She really hasn't gotten work since this.
Really?
Which is crazy to me because I think she gives perfect horror vibe.
Yeah,
because
very
you
much.
could make her the bitch of the group. You could make her the she's the bitch, but is she the killer of the group?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think her delivery was great. And I'll probably rant later when we talk about when they come back.
Yeah,
but
and her crazy eyes were so good. No, she was a really fun character, I think.
Yeah.
But also, just to go back, so the actress who plays Lainey Rucker is Betty Gabriel, who was also Georgina in Get Out. And has been actually and has actually been in a lot of Blumhouse films and stuff. So she's kind of like a scream queen in her own right, which I think is great because I do like her a lot.
Yeah. So then we're out of Joe's Deli, and then we're back with Leo, and then we basically just get this like, I'll call it a shitstorm of like him going through the senator's house trying to
lock everything down,
set up barricades, and where does he want staffing, and what bodies are gonna go where, sort of a montage. And then we cut back to Joe's Deli, and we're getting a news report of Dante Bishop again, and makes it sound like he took over the militia after Carmelo died, was my understanding of that blurb.
Was it like explicitly stated? Because I was wondering about that. I was like, what happened to Carmelo? And I'm kind of sad that we didn't get any more backstory for that.
That's a good question of if it is explicitly stated or not. I don't remember.
I think it is. I think they just kind of like installed Dante Bishop as leader, which is cool. Which also, I would watch a whole spin-off on just like Dante's story because I think he's a very cool character.
Yeah.
Really, and especially since he's had this like through line
through
the whole series, I want to know what he's been doing. How did he get from like homeless vet hiding in the first family's house to like the leader of this like resistance militia movement? Like that's really cool.
Yeah.
Give me that story.
Yeah.
James DeMonaco.
You could do like the Purge anti-NFFA.
Yeah, exactly.
Call me James. Then we're in Joe's Deli, and Joe gets a call from the insurance company.
Yep.
Saying your premiums are going up astronomically, and basically you have to pay them basically in the next 24 hours, or he doesn't have Purge coverage. Mm-hmm. So, again, to our conversation of just what the business of this would be and whatnot.
Very realistic.
Yeah. And he basically just goes, fuck it. I'll be here on Purge Night then and protect the place. So there, and then there's kind of like a back and forth of like, don't do that. We can rebuild, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. So. Stuff, it's just stuff. It can be replaced. You can't be kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Joe's a stubborn guy, so yeah.
That would be tough because again, the implications. What is the other 364 days a year if you lose your fucking business on Purge Night?
Yeah. What's gonna happen?
It is life or death because then you're homeless. You have no income.
Yeah. And then you're on the street, and then come Purge Night again.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Then we get our pop-up Purge Night. 12 minutes until the annual purge. And then we see Joe is getting set up on his roof with his cooler of beer, lawn chair, and guns, as an American does.
Yeah, indeed.
We see Lainey get into an ambulance with another woman named Dawn. So we see that she is going to be out on Purge Night doing some sort of first aid.
She's part of the triage unit.
Yeah.
So those are kind of like unofficial emergency services, since like emergency services are shut down and stuff, so they kind of like troll the city looking
and this
for
is
people to help.
This is our first introduction to this concept of like unwritten purge laws. So again, the structure of this universe, because at some point she does touch on the fact that it's an unwritten rule that people are going to leave. It's safe.
Yeah.
If they're giving first aid, they're not going to get shot. It's just accepted by the purgers of the world that those people are off limits. That's another thing that gets brought up in the Purge show.
Yes. Yeah. I did see that part, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, meanwhile, Roan's house is getting locked down. And I just, like, kind of noticed also how funny it was that it doesn't really matter, like, down the road, but, like, the security system is very similar to the security system in the first house, and I was like, you think that, you know, it's been several years since then, that maybe the security would be a little bit better.
That's a good point. We've been at this for 2 decades. We haven't upgraded this. It's a good point.
Like, come on, guys. But, yeah, and then it's, just in my notes, just purge time, baby.
Because the alarms start going off, and then I pose the question, do you think they would run the purge sirens over the tornado sirens, or would the city install purge sirens?
Well, probably the city would install purge sirens because not everywhere has tornado sirens. That's just a Midwest thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Do you think to save money in the Midwest, would they just utilize that system?
Probably, yeah.
You know?
But yeah. No, I remember the first time I heard the tornado sirens when I moved here because I grew up in the West.
Yeah.
And I, like, was sitting in class and they started going off and everybody is just, like, complete, like, blank face. And I'm like, guys, what is happening right now? It's very alarming.
It's a different world out here in the Midwest.
Yeah.
So, they're just locking everything down. You're kind of starting to see who's where. Like, there's 2 agents outside guarding the door. And, like you were saying, we've got cameras and whatever. And the senator forces Leo to have a drink with her, basically. There's this little cheeky interaction where she's like, have a drink with me. He's like, no, I don't drink. And she's like, it wasn't a question. Yeah. Come have a drink with me, basically.
And then she does give him water, because I was like, don't be giving your head of security alcohol.
Whiskey.
when your fucking life is at stake here. But I will say, I do, like their interaction. Yeah. And I rarely ship heterosexual couples, but I do ship them, so...
Yeah, and they just, again, kind of we always have these brief interactions between our characters in the Purge universe that kind of build up the human side of them and that character relation. So she's basically just like, are you scared? And asks why he applied for the job. And then I think, like, this is really kind of a divisive, like, if you haven't seen the first 2 movies, you get a little peek into, like, something happened with his son. He doesn't support the Purge Night.
Just gets a little bit of a backstory. Not the whole backstory. He doesn't really mention how he did almost go and kill that man. But,
no.
You know, it's
tiny
okay.
Details.
Need to know basis.
Yeah. And then we're in the ambulance with Lainey.
Yes.
They're just driving around. We see the Purge starting like we always do. We get a little... I love this jump scare. We get a jump scare of a guy popping up at the window that she's in. And it's so quick because it's like the jump scare, and then you get to relax, and then they shoot the guy in the side of the head with an arrow. And you're just like, well,
here we go.
The sirens have gone off. The Purge is active.
Purge time, baby. And so they're kind of like trawling the city. And there is, like, this one cut of just, like, going across, because they're in D.C., which I think is also important to know, because, like, Roan's a senator, so I guess senators
we get a shot of the Lincoln Memorial. I had to Google which one that was.
Yeah. You couldn't tell by Lincoln sitting there.
No.
Yeah, but it's, like, on the pillars in front of the Lincoln Memorial, it's just written in blood, like, Purge. And I think, like, aesthetically, that's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, logistically, how did they do that? Did they get a really big ladder where they were, like, rappelling down? That looks like a lot of blood.
I wonder if they even let them shoot at the Lincoln Memorial. That could be CGI.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah. Something tells me...
It's just an aesthetic thing.
Yeah.
But, like, it looked really cool, but, like, logistically. Like, I'm talking, like, the people who painted that in the Purge universe. Like...
Oh, yeah. Dedication to the cause.
Yeah, truly.
I did make a note of, The guillotine in the alley is a wild choice.
Yeah,
Wild.
crazy.
Again, to our conversation of like, do you spend all year planning and you go, we're building a guillotine.
Halloween for adults.
Yeah, literally. And again, this is just kind of our typical like slow-mo vibe setting, and then 3 people strapped to the hood of a car are being driven around by psychos. And then we get a woman waving down the ambulance claiming her husband was shot.
Yeah.
Which we will find out later.
She
shot him.
Yeah.
And then panicked over the fact that she shot her husband.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Back at Joe's deli, Joe's all settled in, and then Marcos, who's like the young man who works for him, pops up on the roof, scares the shit out of Joe, and he goes, "It's purge night. You don't sneak up on black people." And I'm like, no, that's so fair, though.
I will say, this movie and then the first Purge, our level of comedic relief gets ramped up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, these sorts of interactions, like the next one, it's the fucking woman who's drinking in the church. Some of the shit that comes out of that woman's mouth had me cackling.
Pretty good. Yeah, so they settle in, and then all through the city streets, we hear Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA blasting.
I clocked this. I think this is my favorite Purge scene.
Oh, it's so good.
When someone says the Purge,
yeah,
this scene is what I think of.
Yes, it's very, very good. I do have to go down this little rabbit hole that I kind of just thought up. So Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA came out in 2009. This is the year 2040. So at this point, the song is 31 years old. And they're blasting it, which, like, amazing choice. Cannot fault them for that. But that is, like, crazy. So I went down this, like, rabbit hole just for, like, a little bit of cultural comparison, right? Billboard Top 100 had Party in the USA at number 29 at the end of 2009. And then, in comparison, in 1994, which was 31 years ago, the 29th song at the end of the year, Billboard Top 100, was Shoop by Salt and Peppa.
I would 100% purge to that song. 1,000%. Oh, that's incredible.
So funny. But I had to it took me so long to watch this movie because I'm really bad at math, and especially like year math. Like it doesn't ever make sense in my head. So I did the math wrong. And then I looked up a bunch of other stuff, and there were just like all these other songs. At one point, there was it was with my wrong math. If it had been 33 years ago, it would have been I like big butts, so Sir Mix-a-Lot, and that would have been really good too.
That one's a little more awkward to me. I don't know if that would set the vibe.
No, but Shoop is good.
Yeah. I am now mentally playing the song in my head and trying to choreograph what my Purge scene would look like.
Yeah.
You could get on a rhythm.
Yeah.
I support.
Yeah.
I support that
fully.
But
I just like, that was just so funny because I was like sitting there and I'm like, how old is this song to these girls right now?
Yeah.
Like, it's still a pop, right?
Yeah.
And it's already like fairly old now, but like, man, Miley Cyrus.
That was great research.
Thanks.
I know you feel like it was time consuming, but I think it was well worth it.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
I was like cackling to myself as I was looking this up, and I was like, what is going on? But anyway, Party in the USA, blasting through the street, and we get a car, like a little sedan, rolling up.
Covered fully in like white Christmas lights
Yeah,
is what
it's so
it
cool.
would appear to be.
Yes.
And I'm talking every inch of it is covered.
Yeah,
so...
it's like been fully wrapped with Christmas lights.
Would you get Purge night car detail services?
Yeah, maybe like Pimp My Ride, but for Purge night.
Yes. Do you want to be
for sure.
bulletproof? Are you going for style? Do you need weapons on the outside?
Yeah.
Do you need a little basket you can sit in on top with your flamethrower? Business ideas, I'm telling you.
No, really though.
So yes, they have arrived. We see it is the schoolgirls. They have cute little dresses on. They're covered in blood.
Oh, yeah.
And toting very large guns for such tiny ladies.
Gold AK-47s.
Yes.
Where did they get those?
Etsy. Probably Etsy.
Yeah, probably Etsy.
And, she basically says, I'm back for my candy bar.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's Joe. I think it's the kid that shoots at her.
Yes.
And kind of grazes her ear, which he's going to regret later that he didn't put that between her eyes. But,
Yeah. And they kind of scramble back in the car and drive away again.
She also alludes to killing her parents.
Oh, yeah, she
I was
does.
like,
and her
oh.
little friend, too. Like,
Yeah.
they just killed all their parents.
Yeah.
And I'm like, again, what, like... I'm assuming that she's still in high school. How's her life gonna go after that?
What's your plan here?
Yeah. I need another, like, sub-series of, like, just, like, day after the purge kind of, like, things of, like, all of the repercussions of what happened.
Have you gotten to season 2 of the show?
No, I'm still on season 1.
So season 2 is the days after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
very interesting.
Again, the show does kind of expand upon some of the points that we've been trying to question.
It's quite good.
So we are back at the Senators, and we get this vibe amongst the staff where there's like an older white man, there's Leo, and then there's another guy that I just started to refer to him as like Leo's right-hand man.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of tell by the way they're talking, because I think at one point Leo explicitly says like, I don't trust that guy.
Yeah.
And the right-hand man's like, whatever you need, just like tell me where you want me type of setup. Mm-hmm. And so my note taking, you guys. So basically, the older guy that he doesn't like, my notes say, Leo's right-hand man lets the squirrely old guy with glasses come in.
Squirrely old guy is good. That's good.
He scrubs the camera footage backwards.
By like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, so now there's a buffer where the cameras are still playing, but it's rewound.
Yeah.
And I will say, we skipped a point. At one point, Leo checks in with everybody on the radio, which is going to come in later on.
Yes.
Yeah. This, sometimes my notes are too detailed. Sometimes I could replay this word for word for you guys. So, the right-hand man, so he comes in, scrubs the footage because Leo has gone to check something. The right-hand man sends a text saying, we're all set. Mm-hmm. So now us as the viewers, we're like, oh, shit's going down. The boys are here. So you see, and this is we're going to move quickly and it's going to be cut shots.
Yep.
And you see the senator looking at a photo of her family. And then the right-hand man relieves 3 agents from their post. Which again, it's like, they pull this off so easily, but it's like things like that. Like if you were sent to a post and there are 3 of you, why would you let one person relieve you?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I'd be like, what?
Like,
but it's like a authority kind of thing. This is Leo's right-hand man. Like probably this news is coming from Leo anyway, and Leo maybe wants them repositioned.
I know.
You know?
That's the downside with these structures where men just follow instructions. Sometimes you have to question shit.
Yeah, sometimes you do.
Yeah. So
often you do.
We see, boom, 3 agents outside the door are killed, and I had the thought, I was like, what a fucking shit post to be put outside on Purge Night.
Oh my god, I know. I'd be like, you better be giving me like triple pay. Like what? Why me? Why can't I be on the roof? Like, come on, man.
So those 3 get taken down, and then we get our first shot of these guys that are coming in to get the senator. They're in military garb. They have clear patches that literally say white power, and they have swastikas on their vest.
Oh, yeah. Full-blown neo-Nazis. All of them.
To give you the vibe of human being that are coming in here to get this woman.
Yeah.
And, they just stroll right in. The right-hand man is basically like, hey, guys, come on in. I'll show you where she's at.
Yeah.
And Leo says he's heading outside, but then catches on the camera from earlier when he had checked in. One of the guys gave a salute to the camera. Mm-hmm. So as he's about to walk out, that plays again.
Yeah.
So that's what gets clocked. And again, to like our discussion from the last one of like trying to set nuggets, such a tiny nugget that comes in handy later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
very,
small.
Yeah, very small, very, like, a really good plot device. And just,
Yeah.
like, kind of small but efficient and, like, just a good
Yeah,
tiny
because
detail.
our man Leo is now
on alert.
ready to go.
Yeah.
And he tries to check in, and the guy doesn't respond, and he tries to check in with everybody, and then he scrolls it, and every camera, every agent outside's dead.
Yeah. So he jumps into action and goes straight to Roan's office and
Yeah.
is like, we gotta go.
And I made a note, like, he's so calmly
Yeah.
is like, grab your stuff, they're coming for you.
Yeah. Yep.
What? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I would be, like, more scared by how calm he was.
Right. No, that's a good point. Be like, well, at least he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's like, this is not a drill. Put on your bulletproof vest.
He helps her put it on, and I
Yeah.
put in parentheses, I said, which is very protective and sexy.
I will let you know that we did get a comment on one of the shorts I posted about The Purge that apparently the alleged 6th movie that's supposed to come out is going to have Leo in it.
Yes, I did see that.
Yeah.
And I saw it when I was looking at Purge timeline stuff. It takes place in, like, 2052 or something like that. So I'm just, like, now of the mind, how old is Leo? Like, this poor man must be so tired.
Too old to be dealing with this shit is the answer.
For real.
Literally. Hopefully, if he's that old, maybe he's in a compound somewhere, just locked down.
Yeah, I hope so. For his own sake.
So yes, he has this awesome little trap door that he has clearly put into the floor and told no one about, because Leo is Leo and he is always going to have his own plan that can't be thwarted.
Yes.
They go down the trap door, which like kind of takes them into what looks like the closet in the floor below, obviously, because it's a trap door. You're going down now. And the bad guys bust in through that room that they have just escaped out of, realize that they have gotten out. And then, again, we're doing cut shots where Leo takes 2 guys down outside. I said with a cute little handheld pocket knife, because it's like this. It looks like the teensiest, tiniest little knife.
One of those ones that like goes between your knuckles or something.
Yeah, because he
just, like,
is basically just punching people but cutting them simultaneously.
Yeah.
Very effective, apparently.
I know. I said in my notes, then murks some soldier guys as they're getting out, which is also very sexy.
You have such a crush on Leo, and I love it.
Just like a little one.
Yeah, so then I... the leader of the Nazi group, I said, this guy is giving American History X vibes.
Oh, for sure.
Because he, like, takes his
mask
off.
and
And
then
he's just he has tattoos, and I'm just like, you're giving American History X.
Just the biggest Nazi vibe. And I'm like, of course, like, it would be neo-Nazis. This is, like, a running theme, too, is that a lot of, like, the militia groups and stuff that they're sending in to... like the NFFA are sending in to fuck shit up, are like just always very like Christo-fascist, neo-Nazi coded, not even coded, just like explicit.
Yeah.
And I just think that's such a good touch, because those would be the kind of people that would be uplifting this thing. I mean, even you see this more in like the first in the first Purge, like the NFFA symbols and flag and stuff also gives very like almost explicit like neo-Nazi kind of fonts, symbols and everything. And I just like, I'm really glad that that was put in as a detail, because you could just have them kind of like neutral white characters or something, but like the people who are instituting this are Nazis. Like this is a Nazi period. This is a Nazi genocidal fucking thing that they're doing, and they're not, and like the writer isn't shy about making that explicit, and I think that's very good and very brave. And immediately when these Nazis, they discover his little trap door, because like the carpet that went over the top of it, the corner's tucked under, so he checks, they see that. Sniper immediately gets in the window to look outside, because I think they get a radio or something that's like, he's outside, we see them running away,
And the sniper in the window starts shooting. Leo gets shot, as our hero always does.
Always does.
But we find out he has armed a bomb in the office. So he
Always
basically
prepared.
gets shot, goes down, detonates this bomb, and the whole fucking house blows up.
Yep. Which, too bad. It was a nice house. But,
And
yeah.
also, like, my thought is, like, Senator, if you would have just went to the safe house, you would have all of
You
your
would
belongings
Yeah,
still.
you would still have a house.
Because now you're homeless and you don't have any of your photos or nothing. It's
Yeah,
all gone.
It's all blown up in fire. But, you know, we gotta blow up some Nazis sometime.
Yeah.
So he like takes her into the night to run for their lives again, and I am just like, poor Leo must be so tired, because this is at least the second time that he has had to go run around the streets on Purge night.
To be
Like-
fair, the first one was his choice.
That's
He wanted
that's
to be out.
true.
But
That is a
you
good
would've-
point.
Now, against his will, which he
Yeah.
probably learned his lesson the first go around.
But he didn't, and I will say this before we move on to the next scene. I am disappointed in Leo for not having a secure getaway car somewhere, because the whole like half of the plot line in Anarchy was him looking for a car.
That's...
How did he not have not even a car like in the garage that's secure? Like maybe he needs a backup car that nobody knows about,
Yeah.
like down the street somewhere.
Exactly.
Why was that not one of his contingency plans? I know it's for plot, but I'm just saying you could have crashed it again. It just would have made more sense for Leo to have.
Yeah,
a car.
the sniper could have shot your car.
Yeah,
Could have been the same device.
yeah, could have been.
But then Leo wouldn't be all bloody and sexy and need a change of clothes.
That's true.
We get like a quick cut. We're back at Joe's. Lainey pulls up in the ambulance. This is where we get our little blurb of she just mentions the fact she helped a woman who shot her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And but her quote is, shot her husband because she couldn't stand looking at his face anymore.
Hey man,
What?
just get a divorce at that point.
Literally.
Like you still gotta kill the guy. Holy shit.
But again, it's kind of like character building, because she's like, hey, call us if anything happens. Like, if you need us, whatever, we'll be back later. They pull off. We bounce back with the senator and Leo. Leo is basically like, look, the pastor clearly sent people to kill you. There's probably a lot of money behind them. And then they're like trying to sneak around, as people do on Purge night, and he hides, which I was like, oh, the Nazis are back in a truck. No, it's a Purge sanitation truck. Drives by, offering to pick up dead bodies and dispose of them to, quote, keep Washington clean.
Right, and again, another market for Purge night, like, because you know they're charging money for that.
Yeah.
And
Which I was
like,
like,
yeah, that makes sense, because like if you're out killing someone in your house or in the street or whatever, you're gonna need to dispose of that body. And then I wonder, if you don't get rid of the body at some point before Purge night, then can they get you later for like desecration of a corpse or like something like that? Because there's like charges you can get for the process of disposing a body too. Or is that like exempt? Is there a rollover?
I will say this much. There is a plot in the second season of The Purge where part of it is a woman that works at the NFFA surveillance site.
Oh.
And it is people watching cameras on Purge night to flag illegal activities, since you can't like kill certain people and use certain types of weapons and whatever.
Oh, okay.
There is a bank robbery that goes down. They take the footage of this bank robbery, which part of it is like they had to drop a bag because somebody showed up to try to rob them, whatever. One of the guys is like, I'm going to go back for that bag. So he goes back in, runs out as the Purge sirens end. They take that footage, slow it down, and see that half of his foot is still inside of the bank, and they go out and they arrest him.
Oh my god.
So
Surveillance state, baby.
So I will say, probably so. I think if the body is not out of your house at the end of Purge night,
You're in trouble.
which that's also complicated.
Yeah.
I don't want to open my doors.
No.
I'm probably doing it in the last 120 seconds.
How, you're just tossing it in the street?
Yes, I'm rolling it onto my front porch.
I also wonder too, because like what made me think, and we'll get more into this when we talk about the first Purge, but like how you're legalizing a bunch of crime and stuff, right? But like another huge gigantic industry in the United States is the prison industrial complex.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would think that a lot of like the surveillance and stuff is checking for that stuff so they can put more low income, poor brown and black people in prison.
I'm actually really curious though, because when the guy that got arrested for the bank robbery in season 2, when he goes to trial, they sentence him to death in 364 days. So I'm very curious to get to the episode of, do they arrest these people for a year on Purge night, drag them outside, and then just shoot them all?
Probably, yeah. Then you don't need to, I mean, you can drag out that, they already drag out trials for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And if you get to that point where you're just, like, executing people, then nobody can do anything about it because it's legal.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So just a little blurb. And then I made another note. Why do people argue with Leo?
No, why?
Because the senator and Leo start going back and forth, and I'm like, why do people argue with this man? Just shut the fuck up and do what he says.
He saved your life. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So, because the senator tries to say she'll speak up if he does something she doesn't like.
This is one of the things that bothers me about Charlie Roan is that she is so self-righteous in a way that does very much give, like, white lady liberal. And I have another huge rant coming out about that later when she sees Dante, but like she is just like too self-righteous for me.
Yeah.
Like it's just a little too much.
Yeah, I think I know what part you're talking about.
Yeah. I'm sure you do.
Yeah, because I had the same thought. I was like, you're so fucking annoying.
We'll get to that.
As they're trying to make it through the streets, we see a drone is tracking Leo and the senator in like kind of 2 different places, and then he clocks it as just something made by purgers, like a homemade drone. It's not government surveillance. And then we find out that 3 of the Nazis made it out alive.
Yeah, the main Nazi and then a couple Nazi
I said including American History X. That's how I refer to him as.
I just have him as neo-Nazi in my notes.
So we're back with Leo and the senator, and the drone is there, and it's, I said, either speaking Russian or Greek.
Yeah.
Basically a very complicated language.
Yeah, it sounds right.
So, murder tourists, one can guess, and Leo shoots it, obviously, like a boss. And I love how the senator gave him instructions as if she was ex-military, because she's like, drone, 30 feet back, 15 up.
Yeah, I was like, how did she know that?
I would be like...
Maybe some people are just, like, way more spatially aware than me, because you tell me something is 5 feet away, and I don't know what you're saying.
I'd be like, it is back a little bit, and it's probably about 2 feet above my head. And that's still a guess, though.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, it's still not enough for, like, a bullseye shot there.
Yeah. So, then we get this interaction. And I was so mad at Leo that he walked past 3 alleged dead bodies and didn't, like, check them first.
Yeah.
I don't know how one checks to make sure someone is dead.
I mean, it takes some time, right?
Like,
to feel for a pulse and stuff.
Maybe you don't want to shoot them because then that will make noise and people can find you easier.
Yeah.
But still, it's basically like a car, a guy propped up against the wall, and then like one out of the window. And as they're walking by, then you realize all of them are in fact still alive. And this was like a little bit of like a trap. And the senator has to bash one over the head to save Leo because he like shoots one, the other one grabs him, so he gets kind of stuck. He kills the 3 of them, but then Uncle Sam and the Statue of Liberty come around the corner and tase them.
Yeah.
And they come to, and there is a very large group of individuals above them, all speaking a foreign language.
Yep. We got a whole group of murder tourists.
Yeah. Which, like, this is what's so funny, though, is because it's like, it's murder tourists that have come to this country that probably have no idea that this woman is a government official.
Oh, yeah, probably not. They have no idea that they're just, like, jeopardizing the entire future of the country.
They just think it's Joe Blow and some girl that they can now kill.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. And I think the concept of murder tourists is just so interesting. And the fact that they all dress up as, like, cartoonish American symbols and stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
What excellent touch.
So this is where our timelines convene because now they are being jumped right down the street from Joe's. So Joe and Marcos, thank you, spot this from the roof. They go down. They absolutely obliterate the whole group because it's shot in a way that's kind of claustrophobic almost, because you're down looking up at them and you're thinking, how the fuck are they going to get out of this? And then you see the wide shot from Joe's angle, and then you're back down on the floor and they all just start to drop.
Yeah. And
then you see that Joe and Marcos are there with the double guns just
unloading. Which is actually so funny.
And then, so they take them back to the deli. Leo, of course, immediately scouts the deli out. What's safe? What's the ins and the outs? What does this look like? And again, we get this like little interaction between the senator and Leo where she's like, sit down, you need first aid. And he's like, I'm fine. And she's like, sit. And I'm like,
well, he kind of did need first aid. He was, because he was doing that, you know, that tough guy thing of like, he did just get shot and he's like pretending that he's fine, but he is bleeding everywhere.
So in the process of being patched up, he's the head of security.
He's obviously kind of being a dick.
He starts to grill Joe and Marcos, basically being like, what's your fucking deal? What's your background? And Joe kind of like clocks him and is like, we don't have to do this, my guy. Like, you can get back out on the streets for all I care, kind of thing. And then, right on time, the gang of girls.
Yeah, the crazy girls are back.
I just want to know, where do these people get these massive saws they use on Purge Night?
I don't know. They probably just stole them from somewhere. You know?
They look really expensive. They're massive.
Yeah, well, yeah, where do we even buy something like that? I don't think you can go to Home Depot and buy something like that, to be honest.
It's a very good question. I don't know. Saws creep me out. I wouldn't know where you buy one.
Yeah, so they brought friends this time with giant saws, and they're gonna saw their way into Joe's shop to get their candy.
I do just want to make the note that the person with the saw is dressed in a fuzzy suit. It's like it's like a full-on costume.
It's like a mascot costume for like a big teddy bear, kind of, with like a weird pig nose. It's funny, actually, now that I think about it, there is a skin you can get on Dead by Daylight for a character, like a killer named Trapper. Oh. That is a giant teddy bear costume.
Oh, I love that.
So, I love that crossover. Yeah. That's good. There's got to be some inspiration there.
Yeah, so we see the gang of girls kind of split in the person at the front with the saw, and then they're also trying to come in through the back door. So they're surrounded. And Joe calls Lainey as an escape route.
Yes.
So when he calls, she is in the ambulance taking care of a young man that she clearly knows, and they're kind of arguing back and forth. She's like, I thought you weren't going to participate tonight.
Yeah.
He said he wanted to purge. And then she gets the phone call, so then they route back to Joe's. So now they're headed to Joe's with this young man in the ambulance with Lainey and the other woman, Dawn, I think?
Yeah, so. Dawn. So we get a lot of fun, crazy monologue from, like, the main crazy girl, and she's just, like, pretty feral, actually. Yeah. Just, like, totally feral. Probably both of them are on drugs, because the other girl is also acting crazy.
Yeah.
And they're kind of, like, dancing around in the street.
They have like a purge like jingle they've made for themselves. Yeah.
It's so funny. It's just like the commitment is just crazy.
Yeah.
You can tell they've probably been preparing for this for like a while.
Again, a year of preparations for this evening. So they start up the saw. We go back inside. They're arguing about Leo doesn't want to give a gun to the senator, which to me doesn't make sense, but ultimately gives up and gives her a gun.
Yeah, I think I would also be hesitant with that, because he does say, he's like, just don't shoot me, right? It's like, do you know how to use a gun? Because like someone who doesn't know how to use a gun is as dangerous as someone who like is actively coming at you with a gun, I feel like.
That's true.
But yeah, she does eventually get one, I think.
So right on time, as they're trying to bust through the door, here comes Lainey in the ambulance and runs over two of the girls And
the shot, like, cinematically, it was pretty crazy, because they just, like, slow motion flying, their, like, thigh-high boots are coming off and, like, bouncing across the road, and I'm just like, that's crazy. That is, again, like, very iconic Purge imagery, I think.
Yes.
I do also think of that scene when I think of the Purge.
Yeah. And then our queen, Lainey, gets out with a shotgun and blows 2 more holes into the girls, and then puts a massive hole in the third girl's head.
Yeah. Yep.
And then just gives a polite knock on the deli door, like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Your Uber
Well, she
is
did
here.
say something about, like, something, little death is back, bitches, or something like that. And I'm like, that's a little cheesy, but also you are very cool and a badass, so be as cheesy as you want.
You deserve it.
You deserve it.
So now we're in a helicopter with the Nazis.
Oh,
So
yeah.
The Nazis have a helicopter.
Yeah.
American History X is just scanning things. One of the guys comments that they got word that they successfully shot the senator's security guard.
Mm-hmm. And the head neo-Nazi American History X guy gets, like, a look on his face that is like, oh, that's probably a tracker then.
Yeah.
And okay, again, like, just a little logistic thing. Do all of their bullets have trackers in them? Wouldn't that be, like, enormously expensive? Because that's, like, it feels like high tech.
I feel like it would also be enormously expensive to hire a bunch of Nazis to go kill a senator, so
That's true.
something tells me money is not an issue for these white men.
That's probably a good
But
point.
valid point. I would imagine that's extremely expensive. That's probably part of their fee, the Nazi fee.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Do you have to pay an extra fee for tracker bullets? Like, do they have a menu?
packages.
Do they have a menu for their services is what I want to know. Do they have, like, a website? Like, how does that work?
Oh, God. Oh, dear. I sure do love this universe, though.
It is crazy.
So we're back in the ambulance, and then we're kind of just, like, watching moments of the Purge through the window that the senator is looking out.
Mm-hmm.
We see men being lynched in a tree. They're wearing all white. Women are dancing around their hanging bodies. Again, like some of these Purge moments are presented very cinematically.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Very aesthetic.
Yeah, and then we get again like a little bit of like a character building scene in the ambulance where everyone's like kind of getting to know each other. Like they're just kind of random conversation about like who supports the senator, what do they want the senator to do, that type of stuff. And then the chopper flies overhead and shoots up the ambulance.
Yes.
So Dawn, who is driving, is basically like, we're fucked, guys. Like, what now? And more Purge shots outside. We see a man covered in blood, extremely fit.
Oh, yeah.
On the street corner, just like preaching, basically, about death and the Purge. And...
Well, kind of like being the best kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's giving very, like, Liver King vibes, I guess. So, that's what I thought of immediately when I saw him.
Oh, that's good. And then Leo tells them to turn under the freeway. Mm-hmm. And once they do that, the chopper dispatches a ground unit to go get them. And as they're turning under the bridge, we get a cut of like basically like a Fight Club style brawl happening
on the street.
Yeah, like in the adjacent parking lot to where they're kind of now close to. Mm-hmm. And Leo just kind of connects the dots of like, how did this chopper find us? Oh, I have a bullet in my shoulder. It probably has a tracker. Let me just like go ahead. No sterilization, no nothing. I'm just gonna
not
dig
even
in
like
here.
Something to bite on.
No.
He just like digs into his shoulder, pulls out the bullet.
He's a man's man.
Yeah, I know. It's like digs out the bullet himself because he's a badass. And yeah, just like, oh, they hold on to the tracker though because they pull up to where this like Fight Club is.
Yes.
And the van kind of gets mobbed by all these people, so they're all like kind of freaked out. But Joe does this whistle. Mm-hmm. So it turns out Joe, you know, has a bit of a shady past, was like a Crip whistler, which is like a gang thing.
Yeah.
I guess they do send signals and stuff. So it's like, I guess the mob that was fighting, it was like Bloods and Crips kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it turns out like the people who were mobbing the van like still respected Purge rules. They just wanted the triage unit to like help their friend.
Yeah. So they do a little tradesy.
Yeah.
So they help the friend, and then we find out they have given the tracker bullet to the gang members to, we'll say, run it down the street. We don't know how far away it was. We see our Nazis go out, they've got like an iPad. They're tracking it. They find the little thing on their iPad. They look down and the bullet's just on the ground.
Yeah.
And then they turn around and the mob of gang members is there to take out the Nazis. So I was like, I couldn't love that more.
I know. I love that too. I was like, that's just excellent. So their little plan worked and they escaped and they head to like a secure place that Lainey knows about, which is like an underground triage hospital thing.
Yes.
And I really like the concept of like this whole like the community accepted like the triage units, the safe houses that are just like all community built, right?
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
It's
a
like
cool feature.
It's a hope that there would still be a sense of community in such a horrific practice.
Yeah, exactly.
So Dante Bishop is there. He has organized it all. The senator questions Dante about his tactics and how she doesn't agree with them.
Yeah. So this is where my rant comes in.
To me, this was only the beginning, but it is definitely much the beginning of her. You just being like, just shut up.
Well, okay, so like you come into this like underground triage units where there's like injured community members, and doctors, and like
it's like a full blown hospital. There are several beds, several injured people. Yeah,
and it's all just like completely like just like organic, right? Like organically established as like a form of resistance by people who are being actively oppressed by the Purge, right? And then like to witness that and to see this like whole thing and then just to have the gall to come in of Senator Roan to come in and like be like, I've heard things about your tactics, and I can't agree with any of it. And this self-righteousness, instead of like sitting there and witnessing what she's seeing, right? Of like this community coming together and supporting each other after they've been taken in and protected, to like come in with all of this judgment, and like it's just like almost with all this like just like it's so judgy. And this is something that these people are doing to survive a system that is actively murdering them. Yeah. That, like, you're trying to help and stuff, but, like, you're not out there in the streets trying to deal with this every year, right? And it's just, like, it's almost like instead of, like, coming in to listen and witness, she's just, like, coming in to change their behavior. It's just kind of colonizer behavior to me. Like, she's just coming in to just be like, well, you're doing it wrong. You're surviving wrong. Like, shut up. To have the gall to do that, it's like, then Dante even says, he's like, change things, then I won't have to, like, do these things to survive. Yeah. Like, I don't know, just the gall to come in and make all those judgments is crazy.
It's government official behavior.
It's white lady liberal behavior, too. Like, it's just, like, it's such garbage. Yes. That made me almost hate her.
Almost.
Yeah, well, I do end up hating her a little bit more later.
Yeah,
so.
yes.
Anyway, Leo's coming around and he's like, while Roan is like off, like actually talking to community people instead of just like viciously judging them with her self-righteous attitude.
Yes.
Leo's like looking around suspiciously because he's suspicious of everything because he's Leo.
Always.
Yeah. Rightfully so. And then head Nazi in charge is like finds where his men had been murked, basically. Yeah. It was like, well, damn. And then also, meanwhile, like Joe's like, I've got to get back to my deli.
Yeah, I need to get back to the deli. Like, my guy, like, just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Like, just...
At this point. Love you, but
it took a lot for you to get here.
Yeah.
Maybe just stick it out.
Yeah. So we're getting that conversation, and then we saw Leo clock a back room that he watched a bunch of Dante's guys go into, and you could tell his spidey senses were going off, and he goes back there to investigate, and the guys try to get in a fight with him, which is so silly. You can't get in a fight with Leo. You're gonna lose.
No.
Because I just love, he walks through the door, basically, like, two of the guys clock him. There's a guy that was standing behind him that basically comes up behind him and grabs his shoulder, and all he says is, hand.
Yeah, and then he doesn't move his hand, and then Leo's just on him, and I did put the note, I was like, and now Leo is starting fights, feral attack dog.
Yes,
like,
yes,
he
style.
is kind of feral.
Yeah. So, and then this is where we discover in this room that they are plotting to go to purge midnight mass and assassinate the minister.
Yeah.
And I made the note. Again, why do people ask so many questions on purge night? I don't care what these photos are. I don't care what your plan is.
Yeah.
I just need to make it through the night. Have a great purge. Thank you.
Nope. Because she needs, so, like, Roan comes in and sees all this, and again, her self-righteousness just really ups to, like, a 10.
This is what got me. When
Yeah.
she started making the argument that she needed to win fair and square, and I'm like, your priorities are baffling to me.
Yeah, they are, because, and then, I'll save this rant for the end, because it is a big point at the end that I think is...
It
that
gets
we'll
even
have to,
larger later on,
it gets
yeah.
even bigger, but, like, basically she's like, yeah, he's gonna... If you kill him on purge night, like the minister, then he becomes like a martyr, right? Yeah. And yeah, there is a lot of power in martyrs and stuff too, but these guys are trying to murder you, dude. Yeah. Like,
come on.
Like, it's not like you're going out and murdering them. Yeah. And it's just the morality of it is just so crazy. And I mean, I guess I can see, like, the issue of the martyr, but sometimes you just, like, electoral politics just simply don't work, especially in a system that is this violently rigged.
Correct. That,
like, you can't play by the rules while the other side just simply cheats.
Correct.
Like, why, maybe you just have to suck it up, right?
Yeah.
So, it just is, yeah, very frustrating that she has to get super self-righteous on this, too.
Yeah. So, but this gets interrupted because the ambulance is headed back to Joe's, because Lainey goes fine. And then, so, to your timeline discussion, I got a little confused here, because they see the semi-trucks driving around. And Marcos references, which this made me laugh, references seeing them on YouTube from last year's Purge. I had the question, that made me then question, is this 2024? Because last year's Purge of 2023, we had Big Daddy driving around in the semi-trucks.
No, this is 2040.
So,
this is, like, years later.
Big Daddy and the gang, that...
There's been multiple Big Daddies.
I was about to say, that conglomerate has been at it in the semi-trucks for decades now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, we know they're headed to Joe's, and in seeing those semi-trucks, Lainey calls Leo, I think? Who does she call? To let them know that the NFFA are headed to the triage area.
Probably Leo.
To kill Dante.
Yeah. Yeah. I would think that it would be. Well, is it to kill Dante, or is it to find that they know that the senator is there? Unclear.
Yes. Because my media literacy was low for this go around, apparently, as we're getting more tied up and more things are happening.
No, it's totally okay.
And they did also confirm that they plan to go into the church for midnight mass through tunnels underground.
Yes.
Because apparently there's like a bunch of different churches combined by tunnels.
There was, like, some lore that they were talking about that this was established by, like, the original Founding Fathers in, like, the 1700s or something, and then it's like, oh, yeah, well, the new Founding Fathers getting fucked by the old Founding Fathers is, like, really kind of poetic, ironic, whatever.
Correct.
I didn't totally pay attention to the lore of why they built all those tunnels, but there are tunnels, and, you know.
They're utilized.
Yeah.
So, Leo and the Senator head back out on Purge night, outdoors. I made the note, they set off a saw trap, because that's what it made me think of, because they're basically going down this alley, tripwire at the ankle, he catches it just as it's been engaged, and they step back, and there's a massive...
Like a video game kind of...
What would that even be called?
Blade. I don't know.
There's probably a technical term for it.
There probably is. But it's like...
just a big blade.
Yeah.
Swinging blade. So then it's like, they kind of catch themselves, time it, and then run by and don't get hacked.
Yeah, and then it's funny because there's people who are just watching this that are like kind of like cheering for them. They're like, like, good luck.
Yeah.
So again, it's like they set all this up. They're not like... hunting people down. They're just watching.
Yeah, probably drinking beers, watching.
Yeah, which is just crazy.
Yeah, and then kind of more Purge vibes. They pass a woman on a bench, just casually, very calmly singing to herself as a man burns alive. Well, not alive, is burning on the ground in front of her. And then Lainey in the ambulance pulls up to pick up Leo and the Senator. And... where do we go from there?
It doesn't really last long because I think there's a crash.
Yes.
And
it's the Nazi ground unit.
Yeah, Nazi ground unit found them, crashed into the van, knocked everyone pretty much unconscious. Leo's just waking up, sees the Senator, and she gets yanked from the van.
Oh god, and the way they do it too, it's like the way
very,
it's shot.
Yeah.
They grab her by the ankle and she's fucking gone immediately.
Like in a moment. And like poor Leo's trying to like gather his wits about him, gets out. They load her in the van and take off. And he, by his like Leo Spidey sense, immediately knows that she's being taken probably to the Midnight Mass.
Yeah. I did make a note though that he pulls his very stereotypical, you can hide and stay there, you know, you don't have to come with me, reluctant hero, fine, you can come with me after all.
Oh yeah. You know, that's just how he goes. So he goes back to Dante to be like, you gotta help. This is a rescue mission now. It is not an assassination.
So before we get there, we follow our Senator.
Oh right, of course.
So the Senator is tied up in the van with the Nazis, and I made a note, there would have to be a specialty of therapy that would deal with Purge Night PTSD.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
There would have to be a whole subsect of that schooling.
Separate certification for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know when you call for therapy, they're like, what are you looking for? And then they're like, oh yeah, this person specializes in alcoholism and this person specializes in domestic abuse. And,
et cetera. No, you're so right. You know what? There's probably also wellness centers that are probably extremely expensive to go and purge after the purge.
Yeah.
Because also, I don't know, that's interesting too to think about, because like the whole purge is marketed as this thing that is supposed to make you better as a person, right? Like kind of disregarding the trauma. You're purging this natural darkness inside of you, right? So it's like, would purge therapy be stigmatized at that point? Because you're purging wrong if you don't feel cleansed after purging.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I could also see like another huge market to open would be like a post-purge like wellness center where you go and like sit in a mud pool or something like that.
I survived another purge. We're just going to go on another post-purge vacay because we're here for another year.
Yeah, exactly.
So then we do confirm the Nazis are in fact taking the Senator to be tied up for purge mass. The minister is doing minister things, fucking preaching to this massive congregation of white people in this church.
Scary. The scariest people to walk into the doors ready for Sunday brunch. Like, you know that they are going to probably fucking
Cause problems.
cause so many problems, make your life a living hell. That is, if you ever work in the service industry, that's who those people are.
Yes.
There.
Yeah.
They're horrifying. That one lady in the crowd.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
her face
yes.
is so, like, will give me nightmares.
Yeah. Yeah. You got her coffee order wrong is what her face is saying.
Yeah, and she's gonna make you pay for it.
Pay for it despite ordering it incorrectly.
Yeah.
So I love that the two people they're sacrificing on Purge Night Mass are on, like, dollies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You couldn't have gotten something with a bit more zhuzh
Yeah,
to tie
like
me to.
a little bit more decorum or
Again,
something.
I would be
A
killed.
cross.
Again, I would be killed on Purge Night, because I would be like, do you really have me fucking tied to a dolly right now? Did you find this in the basement? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, you spent all this money on all this shit, and you're tying me to a dolly? There's rust on it. Oh,
So
man.
they put her in a white robe, because everything gets creepier when you're in a white robe. They tie her up. There's another man with her that we find out is just a regular drug addict.
Yeah.
He's not. Which, like, what a balance for your Purge experience. We're going to get you a drug addict off the street, and then we're also going to get you the senator who's running for
president.
For president.
Yeah, it is actually crazy. And, well, like, so the neo-Nazis, like, truss her up and then drop her off. And I actually hated this line because, like, you know, American History X is, like, tying her up, and then he's like, all right, let's go, guys. Like, we are not getting paid to, like, dress her up or whatever. We're here to deliver the product or the package or whatever. And he's like, let's get out of this. Let's go hunker down on this crazy night. And it's like, okay, no. You can't just, like, write these literal Nazis as, like, also being horrified by the Purge when they're actively participating in it, actively profiting from it, and, like, just don't try to redeem a neo-Nazi. Like, just don't do that. Like,
They're just trying to make a buck.
I don't fucking care. They're trying to make a buck on, like, their fascism. Like, stop it.
I think, though, I think it goes to, and we see more of it in the first Purge, this concept of government officials hiring militia to do their dirty work on the Purge.
Yeah.
They're hired help, and that's all they are.
Well, I don't know, because there's got to be a pattern with it, with them all being, they're not just hired help, they're Nazis.
Well, yes.
So they're going out, taking these jobs because they want to.
Correct.
You know? So, like, I don't know, like, you don't have to write that guy as being, like, begrudgingly going through this because he needs to make money. Like, no, he's a Nazi. He wants to do this for Nazi reasons, probably.
Nazi reasons.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Oh.
Anyway,
So now we're back with Dante and Leo in the tunnels.
Yes. And yeah, basically he's like, this isn't an assassination. This is a rescue mission now. We have to go get our girl.
Yep.
Which, yeah, okay. And then we go back to the church. So it's like a lot of, like, kind of cut shots there. They roll out the drug addict. And this, like, there's the minister, and then there's this freaky ass looking priest.
Yeah.
He was, again, for the casting for this, for, like, this whole series, A+, because he's so scary.
Yes, he is.
And they whip off this cloth off a table of torture materials that have
Purge
been
weapons
that have been blessed in holy water, which I think is
I'm glad you made to know that, because I was like,
which is crazy.
I'm like, oh, these fuckers would bless their machetes in holy water.
Which, okay, also, just another little note here is that you have this whole table of torture tools, and, like, and then the priest just stabs the guy, and that's it. Like, all that decorum, all of those tools, and you're just gonna stab him? Like, commit to your bit.
If you're gonna be crazy, be crazy.
Yeah, don't just pretend to be crazy. That's so boring.
I just made the note that it's giving, like, Southern Baptist church level of crazy at this point.
Oh, yeah, because, like, the minister is, like, preaching in, like, spittle.
Yeah.
You know, eyes rolling back, kind of crazy. It's insane.
Yes, but like you said, we're getting a lot of cut shots now. So we get this, and then we're, like, back in the tunnels with Dante and the group, and they're covering more ground, and then we're back in the church. and they put a white hood over the senator and then roll her out on stage, which I was like,
again, the
oh,
decorum.
Exactly. And the reveal of pulling the hood off was like really creepy to me, like the way they did it, because they like pulled the hood off and it was like,
yeah, it was
and
all
was
like kind of like ecstatic in a really kind of cringy, creepy way.
But we saw that in the last movies, right?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
When
they just like those rich white people just really become feral, horny little weirdos when they're like witnessing this stuff. It's actually wild.
Yeah. So they invite the NFFA to come on stage to purge together. And like I said earlier, because I was gonna make the note it's all white men, and I was like, oh, there is a woman in there. How dare she?
How dare she? But yeah, like this is kind of like, no, I'll save this rant for in a minute because we'll get there.
And I will say, in this group, we do very clearly see the man from the beginning that was complaining about her on the TV. They give you a close up. He is very clearly part of this crazy group.
The main head white man in charge.
Yes.
Maybe like current president. I feel like, I don't know what his deal was, but yeah, he's like evil. Also, good casting for him because he's just like vile.
Yes.
But so they're like, pretty much Roan's got a knife to her throat. It's digging in. It's looking pretty bad. And then head white man in charge gets his head popped.
We get the build up to that as well. So Leo's little baby knife is back in action. So
Excellent.
We see him drop a bodyguard. He drops a second bodyguard. And then that's when it's Marcos, our sharpshooter Marcos, snipes him in the head before he can slit her throat, because they have made it like up into the upper level pews.
Yeah.
Which was a choice. I mean, for safety purposes for them, I can see how they thought that was the safest option, but it's like almost backfires in a minute.
Yeah, it's pretty, it's tactical. But also, you gotta, I said, go Marcos. I bet that felt good when he popped the guy's head, because like this whole time, I don't know if we really covered it, but like Marcos like kind of almost worships Roan. Yeah. Like he really thinks that she is gonna be the one savior. To make, the savior to make change and stuff, and then he just saved her life. So I'm sure that just like feels really good for him, and I'm happy for him that he got that moment.
Yeah, so then we just get a shootout, basically. So they're up there, they're shooting down into the pews. Just when you think they've successfully wiped everyone out, we do get a quick clip of creepy guy exiting out the back. So you know at least one has gotten out.
Yes.
And just when you think they've laid everybody out, a second swarm of men in suits come in and just absolutely mow down the upper pews. They drop down, and you're thinking, okay, how is this going to go? And then all of a sudden the shooting stops.
Yes.
And you realize Dante and the boys to the rescue. Yet again, they have come in, wiped all those guys out, and then kind of jokingly are like, what are you guys doing up there?
Yeah, I know. I love that part. Also, I just think it's like so, I don't know if it's irony or whatever, but like this because it is like cinematically like a crazy gun battle. Like it is very action movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just like kind of love that it's just taking place in a church.
Yeah.
I think that's wild.
Yeah.
Like how American.
Literally.
Yeah, and then in the background too, you see like the very like Nazi inspired like NFFA flags. Like I think that's the point where I like really noticed. I was like, wow, this looks really close to a swastika. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So again, just an interesting touch.
And then we get this moment where the senator is fucking annoying again, because she is secured, she is safe. She hears Dante's radio basically say, we have the minister secured. And then she starts to bitch about that. And I'm just like, girl, just
like,
stop.
Just stop. Because, like, they were going to kill you. They were going to cut you to death just now in front of a bunch of people. And whether or not you fought fair, whether or not you won fair, they're going to call the opposition evil.
Yeah.
They're going to say that you are actually destroying the country by not agreeing with our beliefs.
Exactly.
You are the danger. They're going to spin all of these stories.
Yeah.
They're going to fight dirty, and they're going to hold on to their power until their dying breath.
Yeah.
Like, you can't... They don't care if Roan becomes a martyr for
Yeah.
being murdered.
Yeah.
Why should Roan's side care that much either?
Yeah.
Right? Because, I mean, it's just the I don't know if that's cognitive dissonance or what, but it's just like the righteousness of it, where it's like you feeling morally superior to your enemy is winning you no battles.
Yeah.
So maybe just knock it off.
Just stop, please.
Just stop. Maybe get over yourself.
Yeah.
And your individual morality, and look at the bigger picture here, and look at like what is going to come from it on the large scale.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like that. It did like kind of really irritate me.
Yeah.
Because I also kind of hate just those like, I don't know, because we see it also in like the end of the first Purge, we did it really well. Not the first Purge, but the
first movie.
Movie
Yeah.
number 1, Purge 1.
Yeah.
And like where she's like, no more killing. And I think that worked,
Yeah.
right? She's
Yeah.
like, that really kind of played into that. I don't really know the difference there, that it played into that morality, because usually I hate storylines that do that, where it's like the character that obviously deserves to die is spared because like the good guys are good. Like sometimes people just gotta die.
Yeah. I think it comes down to the motivation, right?
Yeah.
So the wife in the first one is just tired of everyone
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah.
Too many people have been shot in my house tonight.
Yeah.
Nobody else is dying tonight. Where the senator
Mm-hmm.
is like, I need to win my government election. Me.
Right.
So
yeah.
I think it's a motivation thing that makes us go, she is fucking annoying.
Yeah, really though, because it's just she's really not thinking of the bigger picture
Yeah.
and the greater kind of purpose here. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, these guys gotta die because they were about to kill you with no qualms about it.
Yeah.
So,
But
again, you can't play by the rules when you're dealing with cheaters.
correct.
I don't think. And the whole, it just like makes me think of like the whole like post, you know, when they go low, we go high stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and like, look where that got us now. You know?
Yes. All too well.
Anyway, yeah, so she throws a fit and like goes marching off to try and stop Dante. Dante locked the door. He's in there with this, with the minister, gun to his head, and the minister is like crazy. He's like feral, like kind of like do it, kill me. It's your right as an American.
So the note I took, he says, he's basically like, purge, kill me. It's your right as an American. In it, you can tell it ruins it for Dante.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Because he realizes he's participating in this NFFA, I don't even know what to fucking call it, this just
movement.
Yeah, like this mind meld of
Yeah.
like, this is your right, this is what this is all about, so he doesn't
Yeah.
kill him.
Yeah, and I wonder
I would have
if...
pistol whipped him at least.
Yeah, right.
I would have fucking broke his nose at a bare minimum.
And I wonder too if like at that point like Dante was thinking about the mom from the first movie and how like she didn't kill them, you know? This is this is why I'm like, this is why I want to hold Dante series,
Yeah.
because he's just so interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Roan comes into the room and she's like, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you on election day, and I was just like, give me a fucking break, please. That's so corny, so stupid. But Frank punches him, which I thought was pretty good. Or not Frank, Leo. Frank Rillo.
Frank and Leo are interchangeable for us right now.
Yeah, they really are. Which was like decently satisfying, but he still should have died. Whatever.
So he doesn't kill him. They go into a back room and find dozens of people tied up. So they apparently did have a lineup of individuals they were going to kill at mass. And then they realize they need to try to get out. And Dante and Leo go into a parking garage, and the Nazis are there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Dante gets shot. Leo's like trying to help him, and Dante says something like, I can do one more thing or something, like kind of like I have something left in me to just do a little bit more. And he basically crawls into the closest car, hot wires it, and gasses it, and rams 2 of the agents against the wall, kills them. American History X guy shoots him up, so Dante's dead now.
Which made me sad, because I liked him as a character, and I thought he deserved better.
Yeah. And then Leo and American History X, in good old-fashioned American fashion, they're both out of bullets. We're not
Time
gonna
to have a knife fight.
We're gonna fist fight with our knives to the death.
Yep.
So he wins with his little baby knife. And then we're back with
Kind of back in the church.
the minister is yelling and praying, and they're telling him to shut up. And
No, because he is doing that crazy like Southern Baptist thing where he's like speaking in tongues or whatever, and it's like, actually, please shut up.
I made the note. I was like, why hasn't somebody beat his ass yet?
Yeah,
Like, he should at the bare minimum be unconscious. I don't want to hear his voice.
But then we all forgot about the creepy priest who pops back in. Does he have a machine gun, or is it just a handgun?
It's a shotgun, I think.
Yeah, he's got just like some crazy gun, and he just comes in to try and mow.
Well, because they start to untie people, and the first person that gets untied basically panics and tries to run, and gets to that door, and as the door swings open, you fucking see him with the shotgun.
Yeah.
And he blows this guy away.
Yeah.
Proceeds to shoot Marcos, and then Joe gets shot next, but then shoots Kooky Pants several times in the process.
Yeah, because Joe also, like, saved Roan, jumped in front of her, kind of sacrificed himself for her.
Because Leo wasn't back yet.
Yeah, so he couldn't do it himself.
Yeah. So, which is, like, kind of ironic, because Leo grilled Joe so intently in the beginning, and then he ended up being being the savior.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's sad because, like, it's, like, not an immediate death because, you know, Joe was kind of a main character. He needs, like, a little goodbye.
Yeah, he's basically bleeding out as they're all talking to him.
Yeah, yeah.
And
but
then
he dies. Yep. And then we pretty much just get a fast forward.
May 26th. 2 months after the annual purge.
Yeah, it's election day. There's, like, news footage of Roan casting her vote. We get, like, footage we get, like, back at the shop, like, Marcos is, like, fixing things up.
Yep.
And then over the newscast, we discover that, as Marcos had been saying, like, the whole time, that it's, like, the key for her to win is to win Florida.
Yep.
She did win Florida. She got enough delegate votes, and she won.
And on that broadcast, they say her first step will be taking executive action to end the purge.
Yes.
Yeah. Lainey stops by.
Yeah.
So Lainey is obviously still around, says, I'll swing back by tomorrow and we can fix the ceiling.
Yeah.
So we know something went down inside of Joe's, that there was damage that needed to be rebuilt.
But Marcos took it over, and it's his shop now. And then kind of as we hit credits, we're getting news footage that there are protests after Roan winning, and people are really pissed, even though she won fairly.
And they say NFFA members are reacting negatively to Charlie winning the presidency, so they're lighting things on fire and protesting. I said, as one does, apparently.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying for the final bit of it here, is that martyr or not, people were going to have that reaction anyway.
Yeah.
She won fair and square. She played by the rules. And I think that this is also maybe not quite as heavy in this culture, in, like, our culture at this point in time, but we live in conspiracy land now.
Yeah.
There is no reality that everyone can agree on at all. And I kind of wish that we had seen more of that in this, because I think there's a big thing that you could have done with all of these conspiracies around Roan, like being cooked up by the NFFA and being fed into the public and stuff. Because, like, even if she didn't play fair, she would have gotten all these stories spun about her anyway. So it doesn't even matter. She should have just killed him.
Literally.
Anyway, yeah. So.
And that's a wrap.
Yeah, that's Purge Election Year.
So overall, this is your favorite?
Yeah, I like this one.
What makes it your favorite?
I think it's just, like, I think it's because this was the first introduction into it being kind of more political, and I like the balance between, like, like the action and then also like the thought-provoking thing. But like I said, it is very close with the first Purge. I think it does it pretty well too. But I think that maybe what puts this a little over the edge is the camp in this one.
Okay.
Because there is enough camp to still make it fun and make it very Purge.
Yeah.
And because, like, yeah, there is, like, camp in it.
Yeah.
And it's, like, kind of, like, maybe this might be the campiest one, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because you have that whole crazy scene with the schoolgirls, and with the murder tourists and stuff, and you don't really get any of that in the other ones, so
That's true.
I just like the mix that it is, like, both really political and then also, like, a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's that.
Do you have anything you want to rant about? Is there anything you're super excited about outside of the Purge universe?
Not really. I'm writing, like, with my friend, not outside the Purge. I'm writing an alternate universe with, like, our long-running characters of, like, the Purge.
You're doing it. I love it.
Which is really fun and silly. And then I also have been watching a lot of Amazing Race because I was watching this one show that came out on NBC called Destination X. And it is like a travel around the world, try to figure out where you are kind of show that's hosted by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who is one of my emotional support white men. And so I was really watching it solely for him, but I hated it. Like, the last episode came, and I hated watching every single episode because all the games were stupid. Every location that they went was the most well-known location in that strictly European city. And then the final Destination X was Big Ben. What? Like, come on, dude. Like, it's so easy. It's just so easy. It was so stupid. I hated all the contestants. And the whole time I was watching it, I was like, I just really want to watch Amazing Race again. Because I used to watch that, like, loyally watching it every week when I was, like, a child.
Ugh, I love that.
Yeah, so it is on Paramount Plus, which I have been stealing from my mom, and
As we do.
Yeah, as you do. We just got to be a moocher in this world. And I think I watched almost the whole first season in like a night, and that's been really fun because like it's hard. It is hard because, again, I think the first season came out it must have been 2000 because they start in New York City. Central Park, they're doing a skyline span, and the World Trade Center is still there, and I was like, oh.
Well, we know what that was before, at least.
Yeah, and so they have to, like, travel around the world, figuring out all their own navigation with no cell phones.
Yeah.
Have to book their own flights, and have to, like, be in these, like, actual, like, countries where they don't speak the language, right? Like, I think they immediately go to, like, India in the first one, and then they're in, like, Namibia and stuff like that. So it is, like, really kind of intense, and it's really interesting seeing all these stupid Americans running around trying to figure out how to do that. And it's hard. Like, it's, like, I've imagined, like, it gives me anxiety watching it a little bit, because I imagine being in their situations, I'm like, there's no way. My teammate would have to literally carry me.
Carry you home.
But that's been really fun, and it's kind of, like, a nostalgic comfort, because I did watch it very loyally when I was like, it was like my favorite reality show when I was like a little kid.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. We love nostalgia. That's what we're all looking for nowadays.
Yeah, that's all we got.
Well, I have a little gift for you.
Ooh.
So what I'm excited for is, let's not play this yet. I have a 60-second soundbite I'm going to play for you to get your raw reaction to it.
Okay.
But what I'm most excited for is the new movie coming out, The Home. It has Pete Davidson in it.
Okay.
The logline is, this movie follows Max, who realizes that the residents and caretakers in the retirement home he started working at hide sinister secrets.
Okay.
Which I am of the school, old people and kids, you can make them equally as scary and freaky.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Old people can be very scary.
Oh, yeah, they can be so scary.
Well, this is from James DeMonaco, the creator of The Purge.
Nice.
So
Okay,
this
very
is
cool.
his first horror movie post-Purge.
Very cool.
He co-wrote this movie with the guy that plays Leo's right-hand man.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
So, you know me, I can't help myself. I was listening to the Right On podcast by Final Draft, so it's like kind of like screenplay focused. And they were interviewing James and I forget what the
Adam Cantor.
Yeah, right. Yes. So interviewing them both, and obviously James has done so much with the Purge. They ask him. They start by talking to him about the Purge.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So this is a 60-second clip. I'm just gonna play it for everybody, and I want to hear how you feel about it.
Okay.
Came up with the Purge, was it reflective of the society that you were experiencing, or was it predictive of things to come?
It's a great question. My producer Sebastian Mercier, who produces everything I've done so far, is he says I'm predicting the future, sadly predicting the future. But I think I pay too much attention, my wife says, to what's happening in the world, which gives me anxiety. And I think I'm putting a mirror up, and unfortunately, several things have unfolded that have been way too close to reality. Meaning the Purge has reflected reality too closely, to the point where I get people asking if I think the Purge can actually happen, and that's terrifying. And even, not to get too deeply into this politically, but our new leader, I got a call recently. No, but it's got to be 6-7 months ago. He actually, I believe, said something like he wanted a purge-like day he thought would be good for America, without saying the words "the purge," though. And I do remember getting many calls that day. So it's been very strange. It's been a strange journey. Sadly.
Oh, so when you
Damn.
I was just out on my hot girl walk, listening to my podcast, and I was like, I must have fucking missed that blurb.
Yeah, that's awful.
And he basically just goes on to be like, I've always been asked that question, and I used to always be like, no, not a chance. But like now I am kind of just like, well, maybe.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
I think we've been spending the last, 6 hours of recording this podcast imagining that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I think when I go, I think I'll end up being sold to
Be a
rich
martyr.
people.
Yeah. Leave some money behind. Yeah. Well, that's fun.
So I just wanted to end it with that little blurb,
Thanks.
just so everyone is informed.
Yeah.
But
The first step is being informed.
yeah, I am excited for the home though. It looks good. It looks really creepy.
Yeah.
I'm interested, obviously, because all we've seen from him is the Purge. So it's like, what is he gonna do with a different horror mechanic, so to speak?
Yeah.
So, apparently Pete Davidson is like from wherever he's from,
Oh.
and like he was introduced to Pete when Pete was like being
baby.
a waiter or something.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
And he was just talking about how when he was writing this, they were like, wait, this role's for Pete. He would be perfect. So they kind of tailored it like to him.
Excellent.
So, and I love that goofy Pete Davidson has kind of become like a... we can't say horror icon, but he keeps popping up in horror.
He
and you're
does.
like, how are you doing such a good job?
And Pete Davidson inspired characters are popping up in horror, because I did just watch Locked, which is basically Bill Skarsgård in probably high dirtbag Pete Davidson cosplay, basically, bleach blonde hair, bad tattoos.
Well, and it also it poses the question of did they tailor that role to Pete Davidson and then couldn't get Pete Davidson, so then they had to put a different white guy in it and just
make him peat him up.
him.
Yeah. I don't know, but Bill does a great job. He's very tortured, very pathetic. Some of the Letterboxd reviews on it was so funny. I read one that was like, this is Bill Skarsgård at his most submissive and breedable, and I'm like, we need to stop. The internet was a mistake. But yeah, it's basically, he's like a thief. He gets locked into this really fancy car and just gets tortured by Anthony Hopkins. Pretty solid movie. I enjoyed it.
It's on my to watch list. It's on Hulu right now.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. Pretty fun, but yeah, very Pete Davidson coded, like Bill Skarsgård. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it for today.
Yeah, that's a wrap, guys. We'll see you next time for the next Purge movie. Bye bye.
Girls, watch out for those weirdos. We are the weirdos, mister.